let's look at Kevin McCarthy really quickly here. This is Kevin McCarthy, who many said for quite some time, for good reason, were concerned that he was going to go sideways on supporting freedom fighters in Ukraine. We heard him shut down that Russian reporter, said get out of their country, stop killing their children, stop committing war crimes. And here, the nation's economy was on the line. And, he behaved responsibly. Biden behaved responsibly. They were grown-ups. And so, again, we should worry about things that we should worry about. But there are days we should wake up and say, you know what? Things are getting done. And it's not always quite as bleak and catastrophic as people who get paid a lot of money to say it is, on whether it's cable shows or online or in podcasts or in political speeches or in books. Sometimes grown-ups are actually in charge in Washington, D.C., and things get done.
The question becomes getting done for whom? I mean, if this is grown-ups, then bring me the kids. Because little kids understand the basic necessities of food, water, and air, all clean. Even kids understand the necessity of their parents having a good job to be able to provide for them. Even kids understand that. So for me, I don't understand what Joe Scarborough is talking about. The adults are at the table. Meanwhile, back in communities all across this country, people are suffering and hurting and can't even get their basic needs met. Seriously? The corporatists are exacerbating inflation. I mean, they just putting gasoline on the fire because of their gluttony and greed. And he's saying this is how grown-ups get it done. Well, you know what? Joe Scarborough is a multimillionaire, and no hate and no shade there, none at all. Because when I grow up, none. But I would like to think that I would never forget where I came from and what it means for Big Mama and Big Papa and Big somebody to put food on the table, to have to work 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 100 jobs. Yeah, I'm laying it out there just to make ends meet. And not to have paid family medical sick leave in this country, not to have universal health care, to push children, we lift them out of poverty as a country and then don't give a damn if they catapulted back there. We don't care if they mamas and they daddies and they play cousins can provide for them. We railroad the rail workers. And it goes on and on and on. I mean, we can have a whole litany of lists. So this is what Scarborough thinks, that these are adults. Then damn it, bring me the children, because the children could do so much better. Your thoughts on this, Dan?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief because I know there's Lauren Boebert to get to as well, another Republican. But ultimately, you can tell it's really easy. These pundits kind of just wear it on their sleeve when they don't interact with anyone outside of their class group or their friend group, or they don't talk to them on that level of being like, oh, hey, for the pod safe people, I used to be on the Obama team and the Biden team, and I'm very close to them. Or I'm Joe Scarborough, and I literally have a quarter zip jacket with my show's logo in it, and I'm talking about highly paid cable's TV hosts and things like that. The audacity there, but it just shows if you hung around anyone who is in the working class, who's struggling right now, who doesn't know if their next paycheck is coming or if they'll be able to make rent, you would not think to say that at all. You would just not do it. But these people do it and they love doing it every single day. It's on autopilot for them. Just goes to show you who they're around.
That's it. And one more point to that. Most people are working class. I know we separate the working class, and I am starting to talk about this more and more all across the country. If you work for a living, some people are at the top of that working class. But last time I checked, middle class people work too. I don't even know why we separate. There's some people at the bottom of that, some people in the middle of the working class, and there are some people making 6 figures in the working class, but all are 1 or 2 health scares away, 1 or 2 paychecks away. Now, somebody in the upper echelons of the working class may be able to take the brunt of it, absorb it a little better than somebody that's at the bottom rung of the working class. But ultimately, if you cannot afford to take 6 months or more off from work, you are in the working class. If one health scare would shake you up, you and your family, you are in the working class. So then your point about these people only talk to, this is a class issue. Okay, let's just lay this on out. And there's race laced into this, no doubt about it. But this is a class issue, and most of these cable networks and Crystal Ball talks about this all the time. There is no class analysis. in what a lot of these people have to say, Dan. It doesn't. And your point about the audacity of him talk about other cable show hosts, he's one of them.
Yeah, if anything, like, yeah, we need to make sure the middle class and the working class are inclusive, but also have to recognize that the middle, and this is not like a dig on you, but like it's also a recognition that I'm having that the middle class is shrinking. You have to have six figures in some places to barely scrape by in some areas, because costs of living and costs of the life are not matching up with what we're making. So yeah, we're all working. A lot of us are, I mean, like pretty much everyone's at the top 1%, like you said, are working. There's a lot of unity in that, especially when you add class, race, gender, sexuality, everything that makes intersectionality and makes the left wonderful.
Yeah. And let's check out what Representative Boebert, it pains me to say that, but that's what she had to say about the deal.
There is nothing real in this bill to enforce. In short, tomorrow's bill is a bunch of fake news and fake talking points that will do nothing to rein in out of control federal spending. If every Republican voted the way that they campaigned, they would vote against tomorrow's bad deal, because this is the very thing that we all campaigned to put an end to.
Now, I wish this chick meant bad deal in the sense that poorer people and other folks are going to be left out, but that's not what she means by bad deal. And I want everybody to remember, this happened in 2011. Like, we've been around the Marbury Bush before. We've been around the block. We've been to this rodeo. This headline right here, Obama agreed to a $2.1 trillion in spending cuts to end 2011 debt ceiling crisis. Here's what happened next. So this is not how government should operate. Yet elected officials continue to get away with this because they know ultimately that there will be no consequences and repercussions. There won't be millions of people taken to the streets like they did in France, in the United States of America, unfortunately, yet, because we've been lullabied by the very people who are sent there to make government work for everyday people in this country. And I don't care how I don't care about your political affiliation. It could be from East Palestine all the way to Cleveland, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, don't matter to me. Des Moines, Iowa. The government is not functioning in a way that is supportive of the needs, the domestic needs of the everyday people in this country.